Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take a light green paint and I'm going to completely cover my whole face. I'm going to go all over the chin, slightly down the neck, in the ears, and then right over the eyelids as well. The only part of my face I'm not going to paint is the mouth area. Once the area is completely covered, I'm just going to go back in with the sponge and stipple another layer on top, and this will just get rid of any streaks that there might be. To keep the face from looking flat, I'm just going to take a darker green and contour around the edges of my face. I'm going to start down underneath the cheekbones and take it up into the hairline and just blend it into the pale green underneath. I'm also going to take this darker colour and go lightly over the eyelids. To create the Grinch's angry eyebrow, I'm going to take a round number 4 brush and the same dark green that we used to contour, and I'm going to start right on the inside corner of the eye. Now I'm going to have a little line that flicks up into the forehead, and then the other line is going to go up into the eyebrow, and then taking a dry brush I'm just going to blend the paint downwards. Now I'm going to continue this line up through the arch of the eyebrow, and then I'm going to round it out on the outside corner, and again I'm just going to blend this colour down towards the eye. I wasn't very happy with the symmetry of the eyebrows, so I took my same green paint from before and just erased the bit I didn't like, and then took the darker green and painted in a new brow. To create the Grinch's muzzle, I'm taking the same dark green and I'm using a number 3 brush, and I'm going to start on the middle of the nose, bring it down and then around the outside of the mouth, and you want the muzzle to be wider where the mouth is. Then I'm going to reapply the line to make sure it's a bit wet, and taking a dry brush I'm just going to blend this line to the outside of the face. The edge that's closest to the mouth you want to keep solid. To make sure I had a really good blend, I also took some of the pale green on the drier brush and just went over the outside edge of the line, and this just blended the two colours together a bit more. Still with the same dark green, I'm just going to add a few details around the eyes, like a few wrinkles on the outside corner. I'm also going to add a line underneath the eye to look like it's sunken in a little bit more, and again I'm just going to blend these out. To try and make the eyebrows look like real hair, I'm using really fine feathery strokes, and I'm just taking these all the way along the arch of the brow. The Grinch has got a little curl at the end of each eyebrow, so I'm just going to bring the hairs up further and then curl them back round on themselves. The next thing to add is a few more lines around the Grinch's mouth, because he does have a very cheesy grin. So I'm just going to do these exactly the same way as I did the first one. A green line down and then just blend over the top with a dry brush just to soften the edges. To really make it look like he's frowning, I'm just going to add a few more wrinkles on the very inside of the eyes at the bridge of the nose, and then I'm going to also add a few on the forehead as well. Now, to try and get these ones in the right place, I wrinkled up my head a couple of times to try and see where my natural lines were, and then just followed those. To give this design a lot more depth, I'm now taking a black paint and I'm going to go over the top of the eyelids and blend the colour out with a brush. And I'm also going to take a very thin line underneath the eye and I'm just going to use my finger to smudge it through. I'm just going to underline on the underneath side of the eyebrow and use my finger to blend that down slightly. I'm also going to use the black to very, very lightly trace over any lines around the mouth and any wrinkles around the eyes, and this is just going to give them a bit more depth. Now to soften them, again, I'm going to blend it with my finger so the edges aren't so harsh. Next I add a lot more black right on the inside corner of the brow, right underneath the crease, and I just blend this out with my finger. I'm going to reapply the eyebrows with the black paint, just in the same feathering motion as before, and I'm going to go underneath where the brows would be and also a little bit on the top edge. Even though the Grinch is quite ugly, he does have some very pretty eyelashes, so instead of using false ones, I've just painted a couple of flicks on the outside corners. He has a green nose, which I'm just going to paint right on the very tip of mine. I'm being careful not to go too far round to the edges of the nostrils either, keep it right in the middle. I'm using black to outline the edges of my nostrils, and that's just to make them appear a bit bigger like his, and then I'm also going to use black to go around the outside edge of the whole of the nose and blend that into the green. I'm going to paint a very straight line from the bottom of the nose down to the top lip, and then I'm going to flick out the outside edges of the mouth to make him look like he's smiling, and then I'm going to smudge in some black paint just to the underside of the top lip as well. Now, because I can still see some of the pink from my lips showing through, I'm just going to take the same green we used before and just blend that into the black. I'm taking some dark green right underneath the bottom lip and I'm just going to smudge that in, and this makes his chin look a little bit more prominent. And then using the same brush with whatever paint still left on it, I'm just going to add this around the outside edges of the mouth. With a little bit of yellow, I'm just going to add a couple of highlights down along the eyebrows. I'm using white to add a few highlights on the skin, so a few around the mouth area and then a couple around the eyes. I'm also going to run a bit of this white through the eyebrows as well. I'm adding some tiny black dots just on the muzzle area, right above the top lip. And next I'm just going to smudge a very small amount of light pink just along the bottom lip. I'm just going to take some of the green paint a little bit further down my neck, and then I'm going to pull out some of my hair around the edges to make it look like his hair, so all the side pieces. And then to colour it, I'm just going to use some paint on a toothbrush and just run that through my hair. Make sure it's an old toothbrush, obviously. You can use hairspray for this, but the only thing is with coloured hairsprays, you can't guarantee that you're going to get a good colour match, so I prefer to use the paint that I've used on the face. The finishing touch is of course a Santa hat, so I'm just going to put that on, and then to make the hair around the edges look a bit more fluffy, because obviously the paint's stuck in it, I'm just going to take a comb and brush through it now it's dry, and that will fluff it up a little bit. And that's it, you're finished. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you liked this tutorial, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up down on the ratings bar below. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.